After the notes of your fretboard, the second most important thing a newer guitar player or a younger musician should learn are their major scales. They're so important in terms of like improvising guitar solos or chord theory, harmony. Any of these things require a knowledge of the major scale. I'll never forget being in high school. I had a student teacher in one of my music classes absolutely lay into me for not knowing my major scales. That wasn't frightening enough for me to actually go home and learn them. I was kind of like, whatever, man. And I kept doing my thing. I could kind of play pretty well, and so I didn't think I needed them. And then fast forward to wanting to start to do this professionally, and I was in rooms with people that could speak the musical language, and they knew their major scales, and it was like, oh my goodness, these things are important. So I'm going to teach you the formula for a major scale, and I'm going to show you a few different ways of playing a major scale, all in this video. And so I hope this helps. I hope this gets you to a place where you're feeling a lot more comfortable and confident. Before I show you, though, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, all the things you're supposed to do would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's do this thing. So a major scale has a very specific formula, like a formula for a math problem, but way easier to remember. It's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So 2 whole steps and a half step, 3 whole steps and a half step. If you're curious as to what a whole step and a half step is, it's just the distance between frets. Let me illustrate that for you very, very quickly. If I move from the 5th string 3rd fret to the 5th string 4th fret, right next door, the distance between those 2 notes is a half step interval. An interval does not refer to one note, it refers to the distance between 2 notes, okay? A whole step is where you skip a fret, where you go from the 5th string 3rd fret to the 5th string 5th fret. That's a whole step interval. Now, if we remember that our formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, this is going to be simple. Let's do it all on one string. And actually, let's start back on that 5th string 3rd fret, because that's a C. So this is going to be a C major scale. We do our first whole step, C to D, or 3rd fret to 5th fret. Then we're going to go 5th fret to 7th fret. That is our second whole step. Now we need a half step. We're going to go 7 to 8. That's our half step. Now we need 3 whole steps in a row. So we're going to go 8 to 10. That's another whole step. 10 to 12. That's another whole step. 12 to 14. That's another whole step. And then we need our final half step. 14 to 15. And if you know the notes of your fretboard, you'll see that all of those notes are natural notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. There's no flats or no sharps in there. That's why I picked the C major scale. Now, you need to be able to play the C major scale all on one string like that. That's super helpful, especially for, kind of cool sounding, very fluid sounding guitar solos, but you should also be able to play them in groupings across multiple strings. And so you can do that a few different ways. Let me show it to you in kind of a less convenient, but kind of cool finger position. I'm going to do first finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret again. I'm going to go to my middle finger, my second finger, on the 5th string, 5th fret. That's a big reach, but you'll get used to it. I'm going to go from my middle finger to my pinky finger. What a horrible word pinky is. I'm going to go to my pinky finger, my 4th finger, on the 5th string, 7th fret. And then I'm going to do the same on the 4th string. C, D, E, F, G, A. And then we're going to finish off B, C by going to your pointer finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and your middle finger on the 3rd string, 5th fret. In total, slowly. Let me show you a more convenient version of that, where you start with your middle finger, your second finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and you go 3, 5, 5 with your pinky finger, to your pointer finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. That's your E note. We're just not doing it there. To F, G, so you saw that was 3rd fret, 5th fret. And then we're going to go A, B, C, pointer finger, ring finger, pinky finger on fret 2, 4, and 5. So there's 3 different ways of playing your C major scale. Not too bad, right? That was all the key of C. We know that because we started on the C note, and then we did our formula, the whole step, half step combination thing. Do that other places, though, as well. Don't just stick to C. Try and find the A major scale. So here's A, here's my A starting note, and I'll do the formula, the whole steps and the half steps. We can do the other finger position as well. Or E flat. Figure out all of your major scales all over the neck. It's going to be super helpful and important. And like a fun little additional tidbit, and we can get into this in another video, once you've started to feel comfortable with your major scales, you're also kind of most of the way there with your minor scales and your minor keys, because minor keys are comprised of all of the same notes of their kind of corresponding major keys. They just start on different intervals. Again, that might sound confusing to those of you that are not super up on theory or know specifically how those relate, but again, we'll do that in a future video. Cool, I hope this helped. Have a good one, everyone.